Happy New Year, everyone! This is my first video recording for the year of 2023. I hope everyone has had a good holiday so far. This is Marco, by the way. He's chilling, sleeping. He loves to sleep as always. So we are still in our van. It has been a little more difficult for me to find a place to stay here in Nova Scotia, but the weather has been pretty decent. It's pretty good. It's not like crazy cold, so the weather has really been on my side. However, it did snow today, but it wasn't really bad, just a little bit of snow. Like the road and everything still looks really good, so it's not critical conditions or anything. If I don't find a place to stay this year, I think I'm still gonna be okay staying in my van, so I don't worry too much about it. And if there's any case of emergency, I think I know where to go in order to have everything that I need at the critical time. So I don't worry too much about the winter time, and worrying is not going to help with anything anyway. If I find a place for a couple months and I find it, if not, then it should be okay. And I think I will explain a little bit more about manifestation and how it works during through all of this as well. So that's what I want to focus on in this video about manifestation, because it's January. Everyone is probably working on goals and visions and what they want to accomplish, to create throughout the year. So it's a good time. The end of the year and the new year is a good time to reflect and get to know what we want to create, what is our desire, so that everything have a direction for the year. So when I reflect back to 2022, I think I did accomplish some, not as much as I wanted to, and I think 2022 was a pretty rough year toward the end for me. That's why I took a longer break from social media, and I didn't post any videos that much, especially after from November to December. I felt like the energy was too heavy for me, and I felt really tired and drained most of the time. So yeah, I needed to take a break. I couldn't really be functional for a little while. It's the transition time from fall to winter is always hard time for me, almost every year. So it's a time for self-care, definitely. And this year, being in the van during the winter time, there's a lot of things that I need to take care of. So it's mostly just survival, and they're just so many chores, so many errands, and it's really tiring, and it's kind of hard for me to focus on making videos and getting done when I have to constantly think about where to get water and shower, and have to prepare for constantly have to watch the weather and prepare everything to be stocked in my van so that I can anchor in for several days if I need to, if it's going to snow a lot and I won't be able to drive. So I have to always constantly taking care of all these things, and it takes a lot of time, and it's just tiring to really constantly taking care of like these little chores, and I feel like I don't have much time to think about anything else much. So if the weather is going to be good throughout this winter, then maybe I'll have a little bit more time to do videos and update on catch up on some other things as well. And I'm currently working on another video, and it takes me for a long time because I have to taking care of my survival needs first. It's only gonna be 2 months through the winter, so if I get through the 2 months, then I'm good. February and March. So like I said, worrying too much is not going to help with anything, so I think I'm going to be okay. Now I want to share this alchemical manifestation just so to help people out there to understand the energy and how everything works with manifestation, and it's not just visualization. Like, why we just get visualize, but things do not come into reality. And there's a lot of deep like complicated things that go on in the manifestation, and that we need to understand the energy, how everything manifests, and it's all related to magnetic energy and vibration, and it has to be according with the hermetic laws, the law of the universe. So if you understand all these 7 laws of the universe, then you will understand how the law of attraction actually really work. It can be simple and it can also be really complicated at the same time, and it does require a lot of growth along the way. So that's what I want to break down in this video. So when you understand the process of alchemical manifestation, I say it alchemical because it has a lot to do with alchemy, and that's the reason why I wrote my book, in order to help people to understand the alchemy process. And by the way, speaking of my book, I didn't have it prepared because I didn't think about it. By the way, if you don't have a copy of my book, you can order it online. So hopefully after you understand the manifestation, you will understand more about alchemy and why it is important for us to understand this concept of alchemy and how we can actually apply it into our life. So I want to break it down, the manifestation through the 4 elements of air, fire, water, and earth, and what it has anything to do with, you know, the process of manifestation. And it's not just visualization, like you just visualize it and it just pop out. Maybe in a different planet, different universe, it would work, but here on planet Earth, it takes a lot more effort than that. So as you know, we human, we're not just a biological being, but we are also energetic being. We have energy field all around us, and that has already proven. Everyone knows that there's aura, and for me, practicing Reiki energy work, I do feel a lot of energy. So it is a fact, it's not anything woo-woo. Everything is energy, and when there is energy, there's a vibration. When there's vibration, there's magnetic energy. So the law of attraction works based on magnetic energy and vibration. So you would have to understand these basic knowledge in order to understand how the law of attraction works. So now in order to create anything or materialize anything into being, if you look into nature and the world, we all based on 4 elements of earth, air, water, and fire. So that's make up us, right? So the fire element is the energy of the sun. So we, in order to live, we need to have that sunlight. So that's what creates life on Earth, right? And that energy is also the passion energy, and that's why you see that people who are born in fire sign are very passionate people, like Aries, Leo. They are very, very passionate people. So that represents the energy of fire, and physically that comes from the sun, and emotionally that's the passionate energy within us. And so the water energy is the emotion energy. That's something that associated with the moon, because the moon controls the tide, and we also have a lot of water in our body, 70%, I think. We have 70% of water in our body, and we constantly consume water all the time, and water is so critical for life. And earth energy is well, we do need earth energy, otherwise nothing really alive. Earth is like the food that we eat, the cells in our body. So that is the earth energy that make up the solid physicality. So water is the emotion, earth is any physical things in our body, the food that we eat. Now air energy represents the thought, the mind. So, and that is something that we don't see. So air is something that we breathe in, right? So we do need air in order to live, in order to survive. So without any of these elements, we're not gonna be able to live, we're not gonna be able to survive. So in order to bring anything into physicality, we need these 4 elements, and these 4 elements is what associated with alchemy, and I explained this in my book as well. So right, so what does it have to do with the manifestation? So when you try to bring something into creation, you're gonna need these 4 elements. And the process are, you need to utilize the fire energy, and that comes from the passion, the desire to create something. Say if I want to have like money, like say maybe $1,000, the desire is just not the $1,000, but is like the pure essential desire underneath, like why I want to have $1,000. And it's not just having $1,000 for anything. You have to use this for like something, and that is the underneath desire. And often that underneath desire is like for freedom or happiness, or something that is more spiritual, or like say that you want $1,000 to build a house, to pay for something. So it has to be a very essential need. So for me, like if I want to have money, that is to say I want to build a tiny house, and that's why I need money. But you have to go a little deeper than that, like why do I need that tiny house? I want to have that tiny house because I want to it's a need. I need to survive, and I need to be free from the housing market. I need to live. So so that's why I want to have the tiny house. So that is the essential core of my desire. It's not just because of money. So, and from that desire is when it's essential enough, when it's important enough, that is when we can draw the passion to create this want or this need into physicality. So that's what I mean, the passion and the desire. You have to understand the essential core of the need or the desire of something that you want to create. It's often not just like something physical. Like if you want to manifest a partner, it's because not just because you want to escape the loneliness, but more so because you want to share the happiness of your life or the special moment of your life with someone else. So the desire to be with someone has to come from being happy and share the love instead of the fear of being lonely. Because what you feel subconsciously is what you actually attract, because the subconscious mind is a lot stronger and more powerful than the conscious mind. So that's why we need to understand this subconscious desire so that we can manifest it correctly. And that is where the growth come from, the process of growth come from. But I want to understand I want to explain to you all the 4 elements, and then I will explain like why the growth process is so important for the manifestation. So we have the fire, we have and then go into the water. Water is all related to emotion. And during your manifestation, when you visualize something, you also need to feel it, because feelings is the magnetic energy. That is like it creates vibration, and that is what attract things come into your life. So that's why it's very important to pay attention to your emotions, your feelings when you manifest. And it has to be it has to be a pure desire. So when you desire something, you have to imagine like how wonderful it is to have that thing, so that person or that event, circumstance in your life. So when you feel happy or joyful or grateful, like these good feelings and energy, that is when you can attract it into your life using this higher vibration of joy and happiness and gratitude. So that's where the water elements come from. It's all connected with emotion and feelings. Now, so with the air elements, it's on about thought. And so you have to think about something, and that trigger your desire, and that trigger your feelings, emotion when you accomplish it, when you have it. And you have to visualize that you have it in order to generate that feelings or emotion. And another side that is very, very important, and this is kind of like a secret of manifestation that can be very misleading and misunderstood, and it took me a long time to actually understand this and kind of implement it. And that would be, when you want something, you also have to let go of the fear of losing it. That is when, I know it sounds very counterintuitive, but that's how it works. Because if you're afraid of losing it, then you would manifest it out of fear, out of lack, instead of from an abundance mindset. And when you manifest this out of fear about losing something, it's never gonna come, because you're losing it. That means you keep telling your subconscious mind that you are not going to have it. So in order to attract what you want, you would have to let go of that idea or the thought of not having it or losing it or have any doubt. And the more you hold on to it, the more it's fearful into not losing it. So say if I want to attract a tiny house, or I want to attract some money into my life, how I let go of the fear of losing it or not having it is to know that whatever happens is for my best interest, and I'm not going to control the time or the amount of money or whatever that's going to come to me, and that everything is going to be fine, everything is going to be good. Say last year when I tried to manifest a place to stay, right, I didn't get into the worries of not have a place to stay during the winter time. And within 3 weeks I was able to find a good place to stay in Sydney. Now what happened for me this year is that I was able to manifest it 2 times. That I found 2 places that within my range and dog friendly and everything. But something came up, and it didn't work out. And these are the places that I know through connections. It's not like even online, and people just come to me and they like, well, we have a place for rent. So one place, she changed her mind in the end because she was afraid, because she has 2 cats, and Marco coming in, maybe like they all were like running around in the house, and that may damage the furniture and some other things. And in the second place, he was kind of okay in the end, but then he found a leak in the rooms, and so that didn't really work. So something kind of came up, and every time I don't worry about not like finding a place, I kind of let go of the worriness. Something kind of came to me, but since kind of something else happened to kind of stop me staying at these places, it's kind of telling me that maybe it's not really the right fit. And my intuition also tells me that, well, this winter may not be so bad, and I kind of want to stretch out my time staying in the van to reserve my money, so that I can use this to build my own place later on. That's kind of my plan for next summer. So I'm kind of also skeptical about finding a place to stay if it's not everything that I want. And the energy reflected so accurately. It's kind of crazy accurate. So if I have like a little withdrawal, then it's gonna reflect back to me, and it's gonna show that yeah, it's not going to work, and that I would have to stay in my van a little longer. So I think that's what is happening for me right now, and that's what I'm seeing in my van this year. And I'm not saying in an apartment, because the weather has been pretty decent as well, and I don't feel like I want to pay for rent this year, because next year I do really want to get into the tiny house project if possible. So I want to reserve like all my savings as much as I can, and not spending money on rent. If this weather is not really critical, if it's critical, then I'll figure out something temporarily in the meantime. So yeah, so the like if I really want to, like if I can see and I can feel that my desire is not as strong as last year, and that's why it's like my apartment hunting is kind of like up and down, up and down. It's kind of go with the weather. So so if you notice that like the energy work is always really, really accurate, and this it's crazy, it's really crazy. So that's the air elements, how it works with the air elements, all about the thought, all about letting go. So it's like you breathe in and you breathe out, right? So you have to let the breath out. You cannot hold your breath in all the time. You have to breathe in and then breathe it out. So you have to let go, and when you breathe out, you let go of all your worries, you let go of control. Trying to control everything has to be within the order. So it will come when it comes. So I have to let go all of that negativity in order to attract what is right for you. So that is the air element. The earth element is all about action, is about the 3D. The physicality is about taking action, making things work. So like if I try to manifest a place to stay, I would have to like go online and look for a place, even though that may not lead to anything, but just taking these actions is may open up different doors for things to come into physicality, basically. So that is the earth element. It's all about planning and taking action. Like if I want to manifest a tiny house, then I cannot just like sit here and do nothing. Like just visualize it and feel it and let go of all my worries, and just think that it's gonna be it's gonna become reality. So the earth element is really important. You have to plant a seed, and plan on taking care of that seed and watering it, and sending love to it to make it a reality. So earth is on about planning and doing. For me, it's about planning how and learning how, like to build a tiny house, or I'd like to find a place to stay. I would have to like go and ask people and look online to see if anything is available. So that's all about taking action. You have to be realistic about taking action. Now, so I also want to explain to you about the process of growth in alchemy, how it works with these 4 elements, and why sometimes we visualize things, we do all of these things, and it still doesn't really work. Because for certain things it's a lot harder to manifest, and that depends on our own energy and vibration. So as you know, everything that has energy has vibration, and that creates magnetic energy. So we can even feel other people's vibration when they kind of in close proximity. So the reason we cannot attract certain things is because our vibration is not strong enough to attract those things. Like our consciousness is not there yet to attract these things into our life, and that's the reason why in order to raise vibration we would have to go through the growth process, and that is the process of alchemy, because alchemy is all about the purification. Now I want to do a demonstration to help you understand what this is. So I have a little magnet. This is a magnet that I use to hold my phone on the dashboard when I drive. Right, so it's a very small magnet. So you can see that it's very light magnet too. So oops, it's very light, so it's kind of hard to hold on. So it can hold on to some kind of metal. Right, so there's you can feel that there's some magnet in this metal, in this piece. Now, but it's very light. So, but if I cover it with like a piece of paper, it will significantly reduce the magnetic energy. It cannot even hold on anymore, it's just gonna slide. So that significantly reduces the magnetic energy. And this is what happens in our body. Say this is the paper is like distorted energy, like burden, or like something that block our magnetic energy, because we are created whole and pure, right? So when you release or remove the paper, or metaphorically, that is when you release or remove all the impurity in your body, then your magnetic energy is stronger, your vibration is stronger, and that is when you can attract things come into your life, if that makes sense. So it's weaker if there's something blocking it, but if you remove it, it's open up your energy field in order to have more power to attract things. And that is where the alchemy process comes from, because the alchemical process is in purifying your energetic field, so that through the 7 stages of alchemy, and I already explained it in my book, but it's not a very easy process, right? So we can only attract things at the level of our current vibration or energetic field. So it has to reflect our energetic field. So the higher vibration you are, the easier it is for you to attract things into your life. And that's how the law of attraction works. And it goes both ways, negative and positive. So if you think positive thought, like and you generate like positive feelings, like all these things come into your life very quickly. But if you think negative thought, it can also come very quickly as well. So it's like a boomerang. So you have to be very mindful of your thought all the time, because thought generates emotions, feelings. And so that's how it works. So when the alchemical process help you to release these impurity, and it can take years, and that's where the growth process come from. It can take a really long time to travel through the stages of alchemy to open up your energy field. But now we do have a lot of energy work to help purify these your energetic field as well. However, the work of the mind is the most important thing, because if your mind, your perspective, your way of thinking is in very low vibration, you won't be able to, that also reflect in your energetic field, and you won't be able to manifest whatever you want, right? If you want something like very high vibration, like very big, and your reflective vibration is very low because of your mind, what's in your mind, if it's not the positive things. So another things that I want to show you is, say this magnet, right? It's small, and then I don't have a bigger magnet, so I'm just gonna show you this. I don't know if you can see. So this is magnetic bar that I used to hold on my knife, so it's kind of stained a little bit now. So this small magnet cannot attract this bigger bar, but this bigger bar is what attracted. So just hold on to it, it's really strong. What I'm trying to show you is that when your magnetic energy is small like this, you can attract some small things coming to you at the level that you are, but you cannot attract anything bigger than you. But what bigger than you can attract you? So if you want to say like attract like $1 million, but your conscious mind is not at that abundant level. Like if you have $1 million, are you gonna be afraid of losing $1 million? Of course you are, right? So that means your conscious mind is not at that level, then you won't be able to attract it in your life. But like if someone like a millionaire, not gonna attract someone who have like very low conscious level in terms of money mindset. So in order to attract something higher, then you would have to bring your vibration to that level. And I kind of just demonstrate that, right? You cannot use this and attract something that has stronger magnetic field. That magnetic field may attract you, but if it wants to, but like if someone who have much higher level of consciousness may not want to attract this low level of consciousness or low vibration. Like me, like I don't want to attract people who have negativity and a lot of drama. So because they would have very low vibration, right? I don't want to attract like just a penny or a dollar, because so yeah, I want to check something at my level or higher, right? So in order to go to get what we want at the higher level, we would have to get there. We would have to raise our vibration to get there. And by raising vibration doesn't mean that you have to add on more things, but you have to release all of the burdens, like all of the impurity in your body, in order to attract these things. Because you yourself is already pure light and pure energy. It's only things that we that we accumulate to our life on the negative beliefs or the karma, even things that from past life, and that's what kind of bring our energy down. So through this process of alchemy, you have to go through a lot of transmutation and transformation to raise the vibration. And the growth process, all the healing works, you can do it through many different healing modalities to help you to go through with this growth process. So if you want something really big and it doesn't manifest in your life at this moment, just know that it is a process, and the more you grow, the more it's going to get there. So for me, I kind of create my I learned how to do the life book, which is what I kind of modify every year, like to reflect on what I want and what I want to create, and it does kind of change over time as I grow. So even things that I wanted to have like a couple years ago, it may not be what I want right now. So the more I grow, the more I have I can visualize something like more specific that is for my needs and what I actually want right now. And if it doesn't happen, then that is fine for me. That means that I still need to grow a little more. I need to do more personal work, the healing work, or I need to modify my vision and dig deep to understand like why it doesn't manifest. Maybe my desire, my fire energy is not aligned to what the soul really wants. So if it's not aligned with my path, if not aligned with the universe, maybe it doesn't manifest that way. And then I realize maybe this is not what I want anymore. So you need to really understand that desire is so important in the manifestation, and be consistent with the visualization to help you to help you generate that feeling and that emotions. And I think the best way is to do meditation. And sometimes when I go on walk with Marco, I kind of like just think about it and visualize it and get details on it. For me, I like to write things out instead of having like a vision board. And sometimes I kind of forget about it. I don't do visualization all the time. But if like that thought kind of excites me, then I go deeper and deeper in the details. But every year I do have a life book or like a manifestation list, and I write out very detailed as I can about what I want to manifest, what I want to bring into reality this year, what I want to create, and then take actions, and forget about it, forget like all the worries. And there's sometimes anxieties and fears and worries can really get into the way, and if it doesn't happen now, then maybe it'll happen later. So we need to have that leeway to be on the flow of the universe and not control everything all the time. And then on the planning and doing, and I find that this is what getting me stuck for a long time, especially with the fear of not being good enough and self-doubt, which is get me stuck into procrastination, and it's make all the manifestation a lot heavier and a lot more difficult to create. So letting go of all these fears is also very critical, and that's why we would have to grow, we'd have to go through of this alchemical process to let go of these fears. And that's why it takes, all these things takes time. And that if we if you want to manifest these things, if you really commit to manifest what you desire, then you would have to go through the growth process in order to create the life that you want. So that's why commitment to growth is important. I hope that I can make it clear for you all about the manifestation and how it really works, and it's not just visualizing and manifesting, and hopefully that you understand deeper into the alchemical process, the energy, the law of the universe, and how everything works. And I do really recommend you to read the Kabbalion, I think it's called Kabbalion book. I hope I pronounced this correctly, that explains the 7 laws of the universe, or the 7 hermetic laws. And when you understand these laws, it would make so much sense for you to understand the law of attraction and how it really works. But hopefully through this video you would have a general idea how the law of attraction works, and all the manifestation, all the things that go underneath it. And it's just not that simple about visualization exercise. Like if you can understand the 4 elements, the desire, the thought, the emotion, the feeling, and the actions, and the growth process, in order to make all of that happen. So I hope this video is helpful for you. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments below. I would be very curious to know what people think about this video, and whether it makes sense to you. It helps you to understand more about manifestation, and share your thoughts, share your ideas. And if you manifest something, if you have accomplished into manifestation, you can share your experience in the comments down section below. Well, have a wonderful year manifesting, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys. Hey, if you want to know more about the growth process through the alchemy stages, make sure that you visit my website livingthroughalchemy.com. And if you do enjoy the book, please don't forget to leave me a review. That would be greatly appreciated. Bye guys.